Hello, Westcliff faculty. This is Dr. William Rosner, the Associate Director of Academic Operations. And today I want to show you how to manually enter and change your time card within the Paylocity system. The Paylocity system is our new payroll system that is going live on Sunday, December 25th, 2022. And all time card activity should be entered in the system from that point going forward. Upon logging into Paylocity, after you set up your account, you should be directed to the employee homepage or dashboard, where you can see a punch area, an activity area, time off, and schedule. In general, you may use the punching system, but I do recommend that you manually enter your time, specifically because faculty, you do a little bit of work, then you stop and do a little bit of work and stop, and so on and so forth. And using the punch system can be a bit confusing, especially if you forget to punch in or punch out, or you forget to enter a break time, things like that. So I strongly recommend that you do use the manual time card entry area so that you can see everything directly in front of you at one time. Once you're logged in and you see this page, you want to navigate up to the very top of the page where you should see a drop down under Home. You want to look for Home. And I will have more options than you will. Just still look for Home. And you want to find the area and the option under Home that says My Timesheet. Again, I will have more here than you probably will. But it should still say My Timesheet. Go ahead and click on that. Once you click on this, you will be directed to a timesheet that looks very similar to our old payroll system, but with a few differences. And I want to go and show you how to enter your time into the system. You can see I already have some hours, quote unquote, worked here on Monday the 19th. But let's go ahead and enter time. Let's say I worked yesterday, Sunday, December 18th. My start time, you want to go ahead and click the pay type that says work first, So under pay type, you want to choose work. Then it's going to enter a time in for start time. You can make this, whatever you want. So it defaults to 8 a.m. Let's say I started at 3 p.m. And then I really didn't take a lunch because I didn't need to. I didn't reach, the hour limit of needing to take a lunch. I clocked out at 4 p.m. And I just enter that information. And now it's in here. Now, you might be asking yourself, hey, how do I enter the job costing and labor distributions? Great question. That's under the very next column that says Cost Center. You want to click on that magnifying glass, and up going to show a pop-up that says Company, Campus, Department, Subdepartment, Job Costing, and Labor Distribution. You can leave the first four alone. You don't need to touch Company, Campus, Department, or Subdepartment. All of that is for payroll, and none of it has to do with you. The only ones that you need to focus on are Job Costing and Labor Distribution. And then you can choose from the drop-down. Most of these have stayed relatively the same. You still see teaching under labor distribution, as well as a list of people that may assign projects for you to work on. Let's just assume I'm doing something for my class and I choose teaching. Job costing remained mostly the same, but we are transitioning to a project-based job costing rather than a specific topic-based job costing. So in our old payroll system, you could choose from, obviously teaching, but then there was the various things such as accreditation, curriculum, things like that. We are moving away from those types of job costings to a more project-based one. And there'll be another video sent out to describe that purpose. But for teaching purposes, anything, literally anything to do with your class, from teaching, grading, prep, such as, you want to choose either teaching, or you can scroll down, and then there are different pages here. Page 2 will show grading, prep. Then you have substitute, dissertation committee chair, dissertation committee member, IRB committee, faculty senate, and department meeting. So in general, if you're doing something regarding your classroom, that would either be teaching, grading, or prep. If you're acting as a substitute for someone else's class, you want to choose substitute. If you are doing dissertation work, you want to choose dissertation committee member, dissertation committee chair, IRB committee. If you're doing something for faculty senate, choose faculty senate. And finally, if you're having a department meeting, choose department meeting. If you're not sure, but it has something to do with your class and your teaching, you can always just choose teaching. Teaching and teaching, and then you just click the update, aka the orange one. And that will assign that job costing and labor distribution to that time. Now, let's say, hey, I clocked out at 4, but you know what? I came back a few hours later and I did a few more, I did maybe 2 more hours of work. How do I enter more time in that Sunday area because I can't click on anything right now? Well, what you want to do is highlight a Sunday row and just click Add Row. There's a little plus sign and it'll pop down there. And then you can choose work. And then, whatever time you came back, let's say it was 6 p.m. and I worked to 8 p.m. And again, you want to choose the job costing and labor distribution and hit update. Now, let's say on Tuesday the 20th, you clocked in at 8, and then let's say you worked longer than 4 or 5 hours and you wanted to take a lunch. Absolutely, you still need to take a lunch, and the payroll rules still exist. The payroll policies that existed in our old system are carried over into this new system. So you can't work 7 days in a row. You need to take a lunch after so many hours, and so on and so forth. You can't work more than 40 hours in 1 week. So you still need to abide by those policies. But let's enter a lunch. You clocked in at 8. You maybe took a lunch at 11, and you worked back at noon, and then you clocked out, let's say, at 4. And again, you want to choose the job costing and labor distribution. Click update. And then when you're done entering time for the day, you just want to click save. And the system will flash the page, and then it'll be saved. Now your time is saved within the Paylocity system. Then, at the end of the pay period, you come back in, double check, make sure your time card looks accurate. Let's just say I'm done working. This was my pay period. I've worked and entered all the hours I needed to work. You just want to click Approve All. This lets me know that you have approved and reviewed your time system and time card entry so that when I go in and I check for the time cards and the pay period, that you have reviewed it, you're giving it your stamp of approval, saying, hey, this is accurate, this is truthful, and this is what I worked. That's all you need to do in the Paylocity system and entering your time as such. There will be follow-up videos about additional labor distributions and job costings, but this is how you enter your time card. If you have any questions about entering your time card, you're confused, or you need additional assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am more than happy to walk you through this process as a whole, individually or in a large group setting as needed. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video.